All right. Now is the fun, awkward point where I sit here and wonder if anybody is on and if any of the um, advertisements or anything have gone through or anything. Anybody can see me. Tangent Trails, how's it going this evening? Rod, if you're here, I don't know if anybody's here. Is anybody here? Can you hear me? If this even goes forward, it's probably going to be a pretty short one because I am beat. I have had a long day of work. I had a lot more energy when I decided it would be a good idea to do this live stream, so bear with me. All right, looks like there's a few people there. All right, J3 Hikes, loud and clear. Thanks for tuning in. How's everybody doing this evening? Got 6 people, looks like. All right. Well, anyways, again, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming along with me on this ride. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years since I started this. I feel like I just started it. I definitely still feel like an amateur. Like I am doing this all brand new. Connor Boss, yes, Connor is a coworker of mine. He's hot pants for those of you that don't know. And yes, he worked tonight, and it was definitely a long day. Hiker midnight here. Oh yeah, Tangent Trails. I gotcha. It's probably a little bit late. It's one of the disadvantages of living out in the more towards the west. I am stuck at work until later for you guys. So, hey Devin, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. I'm guessing you probably have lots of family stuff to do, so I appreciate you coming in and saying hi and leaving a message there. So, but anyways, yeah, again, I just want to thank everybody. It's been really awesome. And by far the best part of this has been you guys and being able to meet and talk and interact with some of you guys. And I don't usually have a plan for these because I kind of go into them expecting nobody's ever going to show up, but you guys always do. So I probably ought to change that because that's kind of crappy of me. But I did think it would be kind of fun to share the story of how I decided to begin the channel. I don't think I've ever shared that. And I kind of found it to be a pretty kind of, I think it's fun. Others probably think it's kind of boring. It's pretty status quo type um, story. But yeah, so it would have been 2018, I think. In the summer of 2018, I did my first ever backpacking trip with the backpacker that you guys have probably seen in my videos. His trail name is Phantom. His name's Jay. But it was, yeah, the first time that he and I decided to go for a trip. And we decided just to do a quick overnight. And we went up to a place called Timberline Lake, which I did at least one other video on that trip or that particular location. And so we started out on that trip. And it was in late July, which kind of comes into play here in a little bit. But yeah, we started out on this hike, and it's a pretty good climb up. We had one hell of a crazy stream crossing because it was a high snow year that year. And it's one of the few stream crossings that I've done where I legitimately thought I was going to get swept away. Incidentally, this is also very early on in my time out here in the West. So again, was still kind of learning a lot of that stuff. But the crazy thing is we made it up to the top of this lake after a series of stream crossings and stuff. And again, it's in the middle or late July, and we got to the top, and it was a complete whiteout blizzard. Like we couldn't see the lake. It was just windy and snowy, and we're thinking, oh, this is going to blow over pretty quickly. It did not. So we kind of held out for a little while, and eventually it did look like it was going to keep going. So in our infinite wisdom of packing for a summer trip and basically starting to get really cold, we decided to set up our tents. So Jay got his tent up pretty quickly, but I was kind of fumbling around to the point where my hands were, so it was getting cold enough that my hands were getting numb, and I was having a hard time setting up my tent. And it just kind of kept going and going, coming down. And just not, you can't even write this kind of stuff. Literally the last clip of the fly, clipped that on and was getting ready to dive into the tent, and it stopped. Everything stopped, completely cleared up, and everything was beautiful, clear, sunny skies. So, of course, did some video of that, and I had started to get more interested in YouTube at this point, as a watcher, and so I decided, I thought, hey, I could probably give this a shot. I could probably pull this off. And so, no worries, Rod, welcome back. Just telling the story of the beginning of my backpacking or YouTube career. And so I decided it would be fun to kind of capture some of my thoughts and, do like, my best Darwin or Dixie impression, and, record those. And so we got back from that trip, and I shared them on Facebook. I don't know, you might be able to find these clips on my Instagram if you go way back. All I know is I had a blue shemagh scarf around my neck, and but anyways, yeah, so I did these videos and just shared them with my friends and didn't think anything of it, and put it out on the internet, and surprisingly had quite a few people, especially from back home in Ohio, that really responded positively to it. Hey Dave, how's it going? Welcome. And so they kind of encouraged me to do more and to share more, because they wanted to live vicariously through my adventures. Some of them were older, unable to do them anymore. Also, in my age demographic, most of my friends all have, kids with them. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. And so I decided that maybe I could give this YouTube thing a chance. My biggest problem, though, is I had never done any kind of video editing or video media or anything. I had done some photography when I was younger, and so I kind of knew how to compose certain shots and stuff, but I had no idea what I was doing. And fortunately, as I mentioned in the beginning of my video, if you guys watched that, I had a friend named Chris from college. He was actually one of my instructors, who did have a YouTube channel. He did it full time. His channel is more geared towards home living and keeping up your house and doing that kind of stuff. So very different style, but he was able to kind of guide me in the general idea of how to do some video editing, the importance of things like lighting and sound, and how poor sound is one of the quickest way to turn people off to videos, all that kind of fun stuff. And so I decided that I wanted to give this a shot. And so over the winter, I started kind of working on it, and I tried to come up with an idea for the name of it, and the name Everyday Backpacker came up. And it was kind of a play on words, and your average everyday backpacker is kind of what I was going for. Starting out, everybody thinks they're the first person ever to do anything on YouTube or on the internet. And all the people that I had followed were long distance hikers. And so I thought, well, I wanted to do a channel about short, hikes, weekend warriors, that kind of stuff that I was doing. And so I wanted to be the average everyday backpacker. And I pumped that name into the thing, and it was available. And so I was like, cool. So I went ahead and did that. And then I set out to download and edit my first video. And so I shot the video of me talking, which is awkward as all get out for me, just using a cell phone and this little chintzy microphone that like broke like 2 videos later. And I tried to edit this thing, and it ended up being 1 minute and 41 seconds. And it took me well over 2 3 weeks to edit it. And I edited the video together, and then I wanted to create an entry or intro to the video. And that took a stupid long amount of time for something. I think it's like 5 seconds long, because I had no concept of how to do what I wanted to do. I didn't have a computer that would allow me, or I hadn't had to figure out a way to save music yet. So I literally had to download a song onto my friend's iPad or laptop, and I used my phone to record it playing over the speaker, and then I used that audio file to create my intro, and it sounds god awful. Every time I see it, I just cringe. And But I gave it my best, and I threw it on the internet, and I was so nervous uploading that first video, um, like just like complete anxiety. I actually had to go for a walk after it finished uploading. I didn't even know how to upload the video. I had to figure all that out. And eventually, like, I'm walking and I'm like, of course, I'm checking it like every couple of seconds to see if anybody's watched it yet. And it, eventually, slowly but surely built up. And that was how my YouTube channel kind of started. And just kind of became a fun um, thing after that, and something that I just kind of wanted to grow. And I found it to be a very surprisingly um, fulfilling creative outlet. And again, just the thing that I wasn't prepared for was how amazingly supportive and amazing friends that I would make in it. Um, and so here we are, almost 200 videos later. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I think I'm faking it a lot better. Um, and Other than an unhealthy amount of time on YouTube and a strange alter ego, I think everything's going pretty well. So most of that, again, is due large part to you guys. I never expected to get any kind of following out of this other than just some friends and family. I was content when I hit um, like 25 subscriptions, and then from there I went up to 50, and then I remember my first 100 and being blown away, and then just kind of continued after there. And it's definitely true. Tangent Trails, it is kind of kindred spirits. I think everybody here, I think, kind of understands where people come from, and I think that's the great thing about the trail, is it's the great equalizer. It doesn't care who you are or what your background is or what your knowledge is or anything like that. It's going to treat everybody the same, good, bad, ugly, in between. And I think that's why we all do it. And I think that's why we all are able to resonate on such a great level. I know people that I never would have met otherwise that are very different backgrounds than me, and it's just been really awesome. So yeah, thank you for being involved, and for playing along, so to speak. So, any questions or anything you guys are dying to know? Any behind the scenes stuff or stories maybe you've always been wondering about where things came from? I know earlier Dave Off Grid asked a question about what was some of my favorite videos to shoot. By far, my absolute favorite videos to shoot are going to be trip videos. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. We all live to be out on trail, and so what better way to experience that than filming? They're also the easiest. They tend to just kind of roll off, and I do enjoy picking music. And I don't know, everybody may or may not agree with my music choices, but I like it, and so it's fun to kind of explore that creative edge. And then, of course, any trip is going to be fun. Filming it is going to be even more fun. I am very blessed because I have been able to have some really great cohorts along the way. Thanks for stopping by, Dave. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon, bud. And so they've been great helps in that, and making that easy. Probably after that, the goofy videos, because that's my personality. The Chad videos are a lot of fun to film. My least favorite ones, I hate to say it, are gear reviews. Not that I don't like gear. I mean, I work at a gear store. I love gear. It makes me happy. But because I talk about it all day at work, and then I talk about it while I'm doing a video, it gets a little bit redundant. But also, they're hard. They take a lot of work. I have to actually figure out what I'm going to say and come up with shots and everything. And I'm a lazy filmer. But, they're all fun in their own way, but some of them are just more fun than others. Connor, what is your next video going to be? I don't know. Probably, honestly, going to be the Western Mountaineering vest that I won, which is awesome. I might do a review of that. I have a couple other ideas in the works, but they might take some time to hash out. So I don't know if I'll be able to get those out anytime soon. I'm always willing to take suggestions. Were you nervous doing your first gear video? I actually really was. I was nervous doing all of my initial videos, but gear is definitely one of those things that can bring out a lot of really passionate responses. That might be an easy or nice way to put it, because people definitely have a lot of views on gear. And so I was really nervous. I have really bad imposter syndrome. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But basically, despite knowing I know what I'm talking about and having gone to school and everything like that, I am really bad about convincing myself that I don't know what I'm talking about. And so I was so nervous people were going to see through me. They were going to be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Obviously, that didn't happen. I have definitely had a few people make comments. Probably the most pointed one was obviously when I sprayed myself with bear spray. I knew that was going to be fun. I definitely got a guy call me an idiot on that one, but to be honest, I was. So, but yeah, definitely was nervous with all. I'm nervous anytime I put a video up, to be honest with you. Any new gear you're looking forward to trying? So I'm definitely looking forward to trying out that pump that I did on the video in the field. I definitely want to try that out in the field. I am contemplating getting another tensor pad, probably the all season, which I kind of want to try out. I don't have a lot of gear stuff in the works right now. For those of you that don't know, I actually, for the first time in 3 years, I bought a car. So that's probably my biggest gear thing that I'm going to be trying out, because is going to be my adventure vehicle. I still walk to work and all that, but I got a Forester, a Subaru Forester, so that's going to be my um, trip to the trail, so to speak. And so that's probably my biggest gear that I'm excited to try out. I only have one gear video, and it's one of my most views, but don't want to do another one. I totally understand that, and I guarantee you that every other YouTuber out there has that same thought. We know that gear videos are necessary. They are what get views, but they're not the ones that bring us generally a lot of fulfillment in the sense. So it's kind of like a necessary evil. I was joking about the video that I did for my 5-year anniversary that I showed today. I put more work into that video than I think any other video I've done. I've spent months on that video. I had to go back and rewatch all the old stuff, and pick out all the things and make the videos and blah 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 blah. And it was probably my favorite one to do, and I was really proud of it. And I also fully expect it's going to get very few views because it's just not a bankable viewed video. I think the best way that I heard somebody explain why gear videos do better is because in their minds, they want to learn about gear. They don't want to watch somebody else having fun on trail. And I can get that. I do enjoy watching other people's trip videos. I do watch them all the time. They're some of my favorite, I think, because again, I can relate to them. So, but yeah, Rod, I totally get what you're saying there. All right. Any other questions before I probably cut this off here? I'm probably going to try to make this one under 30 minutes because again, I'm beat. It's been a long week. Hey, Hike with Mike. How you doing? Welcome to the group. Sorry, I did just announce that I'm probably going to be cutting this one a little bit short. For those of you that are just kind of joining, we have a big sale going on at work right now. and I am peopled out. I am peopled and talking out. So, but you know, um, I guess it's part of the game. So, but anyways, I really appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Um, and again, just kind of a last call for any questions or anything you guys might have or stories. Um, I guess I could talk about the origin of Chad, who won't be joining us tonight. He is again in trouble for once again trying to ride a buffalo in Yellowstone. They really frown on that, and he's just determined to do it. But yeah, so Chad came about kind of very oddly. Initially, I had a video that I was talking about things that we encountered with planning videos, and one of those was being when your um, hiking buddy backs out at the very last second, and so I had to do this back and forth, and of course it was just me by myself filming, so I had to do the other part. So I threw a trucker hat on and some glasses, and he kind of became my comic relief alter ego, who eventually kind of morphed into a generalization of my imposter syndrome. Because if you notice, his favorite pastime is to make fun of me. But essentially, what it is it's me kind of calling myself out on the fact that I deep down have some sort of this, I don't know if arrogance is the right word, or ego, or what, that drives me to talk about this. Um, but I always feel like when I do, I always feel like, oh my God, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You're such a poser. And so, yeah, I just decided that Chad was a great way to kind of manifest that in a humorous way, while at the same time maintaining my biggest rule for myself in this whole venture, which was I don't want to become so full of myself or disconnected. I just want to be genuine and honest, and um, I don't want anything, including myself, to take this too seriously. So yeah, that's kind of where that comes from. Trip videos are the best. I appreciate it, Josh. I agree. Not everybody does, and that's okay. Everybody's views or needs are different. I think that's why all of us kind of organically end up doing different types of videos. But I appreciate you saying that. I definitely agree. Hey, Doc, how you doing? Good to come out. Appreciate it. And again, sorry, I'm making this one kind of short, probably just because as soon as my laundry is done drying, I'm probably going to go to bed because I am old and tired, and it's been a long week. All right. Anything else before I head out? Doc Watson. I love the trip videos. Most of the gear videos for equipment out of my price range. That is always hard. And I admittedly am probably one of the people who may or may not contribute to that, being that I do work at a shop. And although I have paid for almost all of my gear except for the gear that I was obviously told that I had gotten from the companies, which is very few. Um, I have bought all my own stuff, but I buy it through the shop typically, so it is discounted because we get a discount with the store. Plus, I get pro deals with several brands that we carry. So I try not to go too expensive, but I've definitely done some things that were a little pricier than others for sure. Um, I don't do a lot of things like I don't do any gear affiliations or anything like that on purpose because it's kind of a conflict of interest because I work for a local store, I am a proponent for shopping locally. And I think that it's important in order for us to save some of those really cool mom and pop shops. I get that not everybody has the ability to do that, and I totally understand. But yeah, if you're ever wondering why I don't sell gear or anything like that, it's because I would rather you go support local if you can. You know what? There is absolutely nothing wrong with having last year's stuff on clearance, and I think so many people in the backcountry community. This is one of my few pet peeves about people in the community. Not everybody; most people are pretty decent, but there are some people out there who view gear as being the um, judge of how good a backpacker is, or whatever, however you want to put it. But I see so many disagreements, unnecessary disagreements, come up because of gear, almost like it's trying to be this competitive aspect of backpacking, which backpacking is not competitive except for yourself. You're just competing against yourself, if even if that, you know. So yeah, it just cracks me up that people get so hung up on gear sometimes, and I get it. You know, it's that one thing that kind of connects us all. We all have to have gear, and I don't think you have to have the latest and greatest gear to be great at what you do. I do typically have a lot of new gear, but that's because I'm a kid in a candy shop. Literally, I work at the candy shop. I see the stuff coming down the road, and I just can't help myself. But there's plenty of people out there who do a hell of a lot better job at this than I do, who have different gear, and that's perfectly okay by me. All right, gang. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I really appreciate all the support, especially over the last 5 years. You guys have definitely um, helped me out. Wow, Rob Pelton, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for stopping by. I apologize for getting ready to wrap this up. I had grand intentions of doing a nice big event, and then I got tired and life caught up, and um, yeah, I'm tired. So I am uh, I am probably going to call it an evening here. But I do again appreciate it. You guys coming out. Um, thank you. I definitely am keeping it up. Like I said, this time of year is just always busy for me. So but I am trying to get back in the swing of things. I really enjoyed making the last couple of videos, and so I'm definitely going to keep moving forward. You guys definitely make it worth it, and I can't thank you enough. Beyond um, you know, getting all mushy gushy. You know, I wouldn't have been done. I wouldn't have continued to do this for 5 years if it wasn't for everybody and their interactions. I live for the comments. I love reading them and responding to them. I even enjoy responding to the crappy comments, which are few and far between, but those can be fun. So, and it's just also cool for me to be able to see some of these other channels that are, you know, so much more, you know, involved than mine, and bigger than mine, and being able to say that I, you know these people, and call them my friends. And so, no need for apologies, Rob. I appreciate you just stopping by. That means a lot to me. So, all right, everybody, I am going to stop rambling. I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for coming in. Bye.